Now, am I right? I don't think you heard me. I said, am I right? Or am I right? I heard some people try to make a complaint. Dude, you're single. And you always talking about marriages and relationships. You don't know what you talking about. I'm like, doofus, are you married? No, but I got a woman. I'll be like, okay, so you're not married and you're mad I'm talking about marriages. But people that come on here in the chat are married. And they saying, he right. So if the married people are saying I'm right, what the hell are you talking about I'm wrong? It's crazy. People just want to talk. And it's like a cry for help. Like, please, I just want to be heard. Please hear me, dear world. Now, let's get to it. Relationship. I tell you from the male's perspective. I can tell you from the female side of it. I understand both sides. See, when a woman is in a relationship, she expects things to go a certain way. But men think once they married, you should be grateful. Like they've done you this big gift. Like I gave you what you wanted. You got the ring. You're married. Shut up. I've done my part. So they don't share anymore. They don't want to commit to the relationship. They figure like, relationship? Hell, we're married. So it's not even about what you think it's about anymore. But no, you still have to have the relationship. You know, the thing you did when you was courting them and you loved them so much. Yeah, they don't want that to slow down to a crawl once you get married. And it's not like they need extravagant things. It's just that sometimes what you guys do, most of you, is that when you got through working 10 hours, 11 hours, 8 hours, well, how many hours you work at your job? When you come home, as soon as you walk through the door, she wants to talk. She hadn't seen you in all these hours. She wants to tell you all about her day. She don't even let you get your coat off. You ain't even put your key on the counter quick enough. And she want to talk. And you just don't want to hear nothing. At least for 5 minutes. It's like, okay, all right. Just give me like 5 minutes. I had a rough day. Let me get my thoughts together. But what you do is not address it. You just deal with it. Okay. But you really have shut her off. And you just shut your brain off. Because you just want to be cut off from everything right now. You just want stuff stopped. Like, let me just cut this down for a minute and just chill. So she's just talking away. She could be saying some vital information that you need to know, but you're not going to hear this because you have cut her off, your brain off, and you just like, what time is the game? Uh-huh. All right. Then when it comes up to time to do it, she was gonna like, remember I told you this? And you gonna say, no, you ain't told me nothing. And that's gonna really make her mad. So you're not just shutting off your brain because you want to relax for a minute. You're shutting her off right along in the process. That's called crossing emotional boundaries. Crossing an emotional boundary. So that means in her mind, you don't care what she has to say. So it's like how you communicate. Now, I on the other hand, would hope that she would see that give me 10 minutes before I start barraging him with questions. Let me let him come through the door first, get relaxed, get his coat off before I start hitting him with questions. I would hope she would see that. Like, I had a stressful day and I just don't want to talk about it when I get home. Some men come through the door, they don't feel like sharing their feelings like women do. Women love to get stuff off like, you won't believe what happened today. It'd be something else. Yeah, cut me off in the middle of the road. Why would they do that? Then I went over to the doctor's office. Then I went to that restaurant to get something to eat. Then the chicken was cold. I said, go on and go and cook me some fresh chicken. A guy just don't want to hear any of this, but they do it because they love you. They do it because they love you. And they just are not interested, but they do it because they love you. And some of them are just so exhausted. Not that a woman isn't exhausted from her day when she get off, but she likes to unload. A guy just keep it all in because he's a guy. You know, coming home, sharing feelings. He might tell you one thing that happened that day. Be like, yeah, Bob was tripping at work today. Yeah. I ain't stressing. I'll talk to him tomorrow. That'd be the extent of the conversation. It's done. Well, you hope that they're the best friends. A lot of people don't marry their best friend. They don't. So some guys believe that once they get married, they can still do the same things. They're trying to juggle two lives. And when you try to juggle two lives, you're basically having a single life and a married life. I can go hang out with my boys and pretend like I'm single. Then I'm going to go home and be married. That don't work. In the end, both worlds will collide with each other. And then you'll be in a mess where you have to choose one. Can you tell her that? She can't read your mind. Sometimes, no. Here's the thing. Women knows almost exactly what you're thinking. 90% of the time, you just don't know it. Woman knows your routines. See, that's where the problem that men don't understand. They know your tendencies. They know everything about you. They studied you before they even start talking and dating you. Women know your tendencies like that. You'll be like, how do you know I like that? How do you know I eat with my fork like this? How do you know I do all? They pay attention to everything. We just don't pay attention to all that stuff. So, hey, what's up, Jeff? Oh yeah, but it also goes in reverse, right? Say you're an artist. That's what your job is, right? You paint for a living. And you go up all night, you a painter, you working on your artwork. This is how you make your living. And your wife come in and be like, the toilet don't work. That thing is still making that sound and you gonna fix that? And he's like, I'm an artist, I'm not a plumber. I can't. Well, I'm sorry. I normally date a man who could do more than just one thing. I didn't know all you could do is art. Never mind, I'll do it myself. Where's the wrench? So they make you feel guilty because you can't do every goddamn thing in the world. And now you like put your paintbrush down and be like, nah, I can do it, babe. And then you go in there and mess up the doggone toilet and end up costing more money than what the original damage was. Instead of just calling the plumber. Sometimes women have to understand, unless you date a man that could do multiple things that you know about, don't assume your husband just could do every single thing. He gonna paint the house. He gonna trim the hair. He don't know how to do that, maybe. And don't make him feel guilty if he don't know how to do it. Am I right or am I right? All the married people in here, have they experienced that? Now, some women have dated men that knew how to do multiple things. They could fix the car. That's how it was back in the day because it was survival. Hell, they could do heating and air. They could paint. You ain't had to tell them to do nothing but just do the job. So if you dated somebody who you're used to men having these qualities, then it was a no-brainer. But don't beat your man up because he said he don't know how to do it. Call the plumber. He doing his job or working. And you beating him down because he don't know how to do it. And making him feel small. Am I right? Or am I right? Oh no. See, marriage is mental warfare. That's why I'm not married. I don't have the time for a mental warfare with somebody living in my house. If you feel like you guys are not simpatico, you guys are not connected, so everybody starts fighting for individuality in their own house. That's the start of the problem. When you see that happening, you have problems. Don't ignore it, saying it'll get better. It won't. You're going to have to address it as a problem equally, or it's not going to work. Can't be in two individuals living in a house pretending to be married. That's going to destroy you in the end. Because each day goes by that you're living like this, you're building up more resentment from the person that's sleeping next to you. that you got to see every day in the house. And the more and more you start doing things individually, it's you and your girlfriends. It's him and his homeboys. And they out doing their thing, and you out doing your thing, going out hanging with them. The more and more y'all get comfortable doing that, y'all are already pretty much separated. Y'all just living partners. I had to duck these tree branches. Yeah, you got to speak on it. Y'all got to communicate. If people don't communicate, and communicate don't mean barking orders at somebody or yelling at them. I mean, actually communicate with him. I mean, you married this person, so at one point, this must have been the closest person to you on earth. Now, I'm not saying things got to be the same way it was when you first met. And that's one thing that women watch too many of these reality shows, and they get this nonsense built in their head. Women come up with these things like, we got to have a date night every week. We got to have sex at least 4 times a week. When you put yourself on a schedule for sex and date nights, I'm be like, I'm not a kid. I'm not one of the kids. I don't need a schedule. You've already killed the romance. You killed everything about the relationship at that point. There's no romance in it. Especially if you're going to do that. That's these reality shows. They come up with all these goofy, superficial things to do, and they try to get average people to live these kind of crazy lives. It's insanity. Well, it's a two-way street. It's never going to be one person's fault in a relationship. It's going to be both. If you keep beating down your man long enough, your man will leave you. And when I mean beaten down, I don't mean physically. I mean emotionally. Men got feelings too, and they got pride. And if you keep making it seem like his word is nothing in here, you're nothing, and I got to keep putting you down. Bad enough they go out in the world and got to deal with it. Then they can't come home to any kind of safety or protection. They got to get put down in their own home. Same thing for a female. If she's talking and being ignored all of the time, and you're just making her feel like what she says don't matter, why would she want to continue to do that? If I keep talking to somebody and they don't want to communicate back, why would I want to keep talking to that person? You feel like you're not being heard. So it's a two-way street. But it's just that no one wants to own their side of the street. It's always the other person's problem. Well, they get to a position where they fed up. And when people get in a position that they're fed up, that's pretty much how everything breaks down. Yeah, they get fed up quick. This is what life is like. It's real life. But each household is different. This is how these people normally make money. They had these people that says, "Oh, I could save your marriage, and if you watch this video, one video might be related. A lot of people might have things that relate to them. Be like, oh, I can relate to that. That's happened to me. That part happened to me." But every household is different. Every household has something different that make them unique. They might have a situation they have to deal with. They might have a mother that lives with them that they got to take care of, and it changes their life. I've seen that happen. Y'all know Anita Baker, right? I got every Anita Baker CD there is. Anita Baker and her husband was together for forever. She made her best-selling album, "Giving You the Best That I Got," based on that husband. There's a dedication album to him. Their marriage was perfect until the day she moved her mama into the house, and she didn't really check with her husband at all. She just moved her mom in because her mom got old and wasn't well. Not that he would have probably said no, but it was a big life change for all of them. And they became caretakers instead of husband and wife. So each situation is different. And it definitely took the love out of their marriage. It really changed their relationship. And people think little things like that could change a whole relationship. I know a marriage that got damaged because the wife gave money to an ex-boyfriend of hers, even though he was a family friend of the family, and she dated him like when she was like 18 years old. But she had loaned him some money for something, and so did her parents. And she gave them some money too to help him out or whatever, and the husband lost his mind. He probably trying to get you back. And that taps into his insecurity. But she didn't even check with him because she says, it's my money. They're married, but she said, that's my money. I paid him with my money. I could do what I want with my money in a marriage. So, like I said, many relationships. That's why communication is king. It is king. You have to communicate with each other. Well, sometimes it's about money. Other times it isn't. Sometimes it's about doing what is necessary, doing what is required. Other times it isn't. Sometimes it's about stress, build up. Sometimes people just forget that they actually love the person that they're doing it to. And then they haven't even noticed it. Because they probably been like this their entire life. Didn't want to take no onus for anything. This is why people stay in business with others who are married. Some people get married because it's better for their business and their relationships, their corporate world. They like to deal with people who are married because they say, well, married people have to deal with a lot. They have to know how to manage other people in the house. You got kids, you got to manage that. You got to manage your wife. So I could trust this guy. He's married. So he's going through the hell I got to go through. Single guy, sure, he might be right for the project, but he don't got any skin in the game. Like he could just bounce up, go to Japan. He might just say, forget this company and go do something else. Hell, he might sleep with my wife. He's not married. And I hate him. Because I'm married. And look at him, free and happy. I'm not working with him. I'm going to resent him every day. Now, give me that married guy. He needs this. So, yeah, I lost a lot of deals because I'm single. They see me coming like, hey, oh, no, not him. We're not doing business with him. All right, am I right? Am I right? They feel more comfortable with married people in these corporate environments. So some people get married for business purposes, for their brand. That's what they call Hollywood marriages. You see a lot of these gay guys get married. And they be like, well, why are they doing that? Business opportunities. Corporate reasons. Has nothing to do with love. It's a convenience. Now, here's where it gets interesting. That I was going to write a book on, but nobody reads anymore, so I'll be wasting a lot of time writing that book. But in 2013, 2014, and I believe 2012, I would go and interview all of these different couples, different races, everything. And I was researching for a book. And I would go to the mall because that's where they would hang out. They'll be at Gurney Mill. And I'll see them there. And they be there bright and early. They get there when the mall open and they don't even shop. They just sit in a chair and just be sitting in there as a couple. Or they do a walk. They get together and start walking the entire mall. Because if you've known the Gurney Mill, one of the biggest indoor malls there is. And here it gets cold and they want to go outside and get their steps in. So they go inside the mall and just walk. Turn around and they walk back together as a couple. And I remember asking them different questions about marriage and all of these things. They were just so excited. Somebody young was talking to them. They were excited. They were like, sit down. This is so nice. And they just started asking, going out with all these questions. And the one lady, she was incredible. Because she said, as clear as day, because she married a guy who was in the Navy. And he was perfect. And the day they got married, I mean, like, right after the honeymoon, he just comes in, throws his stuff on the floor, and just like, was just throw stuff over there. She was supposed to clean it up. And she was like, look, had a conversation with him and told him, I don't mind washing your clothes. You're my husband. I don't mind that. But all I ask is that you don't come in front of me and throw them on the floor. Like, I'm not the maid. I'm your wife. Don't do that. He said, okay, and didn't listen. Next time, he did it again. So, right then and there, I had to break that. So, I took his clothes, put him all in the bag that he had on the floor, and threw it in the trash. He came home and was like, where's my shirt? I was like, it's in the trash. You threw it on the floor. He was, what? That's my work shirt. He runs out to the trash and retrieved that bag and thought she was crazy. She was like, I told you, if you put it on the floor and not in a basket, I'm going to think it's trash and I'm going to throw it out. I had to break that bad habit that he had from home. So she was saying it was a lot of bad habits they picked up from mom's babying them or whatever. And she had to break that early in the marriage. And it was the first week of it. So a lot of the information I had came from people who've been married 30, 40 years. One woman was married for 38 years. They were separated and living in the same house for like 6 of those years. She's like, we got along good the first 9 years. Right when it was coming to our 10-year anniversary, we couldn't stand each other for 6 years. But we couldn't afford to get another house. So we lived together and didn't talk to each other for 6 of those years. I was like, wow, 6 years? She was like, yep. It was getting close to our 17th year anniversary. And we said, what are we doing? This is getting crazy. Because she's like, it's just too late to start over. And you start looking at what's outside and you go, that's crazy out there with these guys. So it's best to just stay with what you got. Guys, it was the littlest things. She moved my stuff. Never let her move your stuff. If she gets comfortable moving stuff around and you don't say nothing, you have to start a routine early before you get married. So you can tell her before you get married, hey, this is my routine, baby. This is what I do. Even if you don't feel like going, do it. So you got a reason to be out of the house. Because if you got a routine, don't start that routine and you wait till you get married to start that routine, she's going to jump on your back. You got to start that routine before you get married. You're like, hey, on Wednesday nights, I go bowling. Thursday. So every Wednesday, I need this one day out of the week where I go out and I get away from the house. So even if I don't like bowling, I don't feel like bowling, I'm going to force myself to bowl. Just to get out of the house. So, yeah. That's why I'm not going down that aisle. Unless it's, unless everything, there's no such thing as the perfect person. But we have to have the biggest understanding in the history of mankind. I feel that we should be helping each other. That's just how I feel. Like, you should be in this with me. We both should be together. Shouldn't be any problems. What are we complaining about? We should have the same mission, same agenda. Let's go. But no, they don't want that. It's just more. Happy wife. Happy wife. He said, knife. That's what it is. No one cares if the man is happy. No one asks him, "Are you happy?" No one. It's like, damn. Can you at least give him some respect in the household? Damn. Now, some women, they marry lazy men. Now, that's different if you're just being a lazy man. It's nothing worse than a lazy man. It's like, come on, dude. I don't feel like it. Nobody feels like it, dog, but it has to be done. I don't feel like washing clothes, but I do it. That's the time I start thinking about a wife. I mean, man, if I had a wife, I probably wouldn't have to do this. Nobody wants to do this stuff. But if you're a lazy man, just being lazy to be lazy, you're not helping yourself. It's not a woman's job to make you feel like a man. Okay? It's only her job to treat you like one. Now repeat that. It's not a woman's job to make you feel like a man. But it is her job to treat you like one. All right, some of these women think you one of the damn kids. They be treating you like the kid. I be like, I eat more food than this. Nope, you eat that much. You eat too much. I be, babe, I know what you're trying to do, that's fine, but this is what I eat. I'm not eating portions. This is for the kids. They can eat that. I get the big piece of chicken, the big steak. You're not finna ration me off in the house. No, see, the thing is, no, most men do treat their women like queens. Now, no. In marriages, I swear to God, men will treat their women like queens. It's very rare do I see women treat men like kings. That's what I've seen, that that balance is way off. No, man don't care. That's his wife. That's his love. That's his heart. He don't care. He gonna hold her up high and proud. As he should. They be all booed up, taking pictures. Did my boo. Booed up. Taking photos with each other. The whole nine. Then it all flips upside down. Yeah, it flips upside down with them. Just like that. It's all over. All right, I've hit 2 out of 3. Yeah, I gotta work off this hamburger. I had a good old cheat day today. threw down a cheeseburger and a chocolate shake. I gotta burn that off. Gotta get them steps in. See? You gotta pay if you wanna play. Which way? Yeah, well, it's a lot of people with authority that don't have authority. They have a lot of things to discuss amongst themselves. Don't got nothing to do with me, but amongst themselves, it has not been fairly correct. And because of it, there's been tons of distrust, allotted with different ideals and formulations that shouldn't have been. Like when there's been patterns created from different factions. You need to show patterns of behaviorism. What steps that help? Games. Y'all should have games y'all play, whether it's cards, communication, games. You should have communications with your spouse that only stays within you and your spouse. Once you start telling 4, 5, 6, 7 other people, that's when your trust gets dislodged. Y'all should be able to communicate without each one getting super defensive. If you say something to him, he writes you off as crazy. You say something to her, you just hate all women. It doesn't make sense. Actually listen to what's being said, process it, and then make your assumption. Of course, guys gonna act totally different with their wives. Do you act the same when you're around your mother? No. Well, no, there's some guys that are super attached to their wives, and their wives don't even like it. Wives be, why are you over here with us? Just go over there. They can't do nothing without their wife. They're like, man, I love my wife so much. Yeah, on Tuesday, we go grocery shopping together. On Wednesday, we go bingo together. We love bingo. Then we go to this spot, right? We got the Jenga game. We got the drinking game. We got the Tuesday night game. I'm like, this dude to get outside more. Yeah, I get upset. I got a friend that gets upset. I don't get upset, but he gets upset because he still wants the friend to be like how it used to be when we used to sit there and play video games in the basement. I'm like, dude, that was 2003. It's 2025. We're not sitting in the basement playing video games. Playing James Bond, Agent Under Fire. You know, I'm like, he got a daughter graduating from high school. We've changed. Okay? I know you want to see your homeboy more and hang out with him. But look at him. He's happy. This is his life. He's happy with his wife, his kids, and he loves taking trips with them. And he's happy in this bliss. He's happy doing stuff with his wife. They do the arts and crafts thing together. Let him enjoy that. My boy was like, oh, my buddy loves it. He loves to sit there and say, hey man, why in the world does this keep happening? I'm like, what? He was like, why are we losing all our boys, man? They don't hang out no more. I'm like, it's called life. You need to go get you some new friends if you want to live that life. Those days are over, so son, it's over. It's over, folks. You got to get out there and make new memories, new moments, and do the things the right way. It's up to you. Now, I done got my steps in. Hopefully, maybe some of this resonate with everybody. If not, sorry, but it's what it is. And I'm right because I'm always right. I'm out.